Hello again, YouTube. I know it's been a long time since I made my last video. It's been some time, but there's a few reasons for that. I'm gonna, on a sad note, before I get to talking about the video about the mealworms or anything like that, I just want to add that back in November 9th of last year, 2014, my father passed away of a massive heart attack. And that's one of the reasons why I haven't made no videos in the last 6 months or so, because that's one of the reasons. And the tragedy of it is really bad, is that it was 3 days after my birthday. My birthday's November 6th. My wife's birthday's November 9th, which was the same day that my dad passed away. So we both took it really hard, and the whole family did too. But I think it's been difficult. So I want to give a few moments of silence for my father for that reason. Okay, now that I'm going to talk about a few things that's been asked about on YouTube. I've had some people ask me some questions, and I know I never really showed it in the videos before. I've had this is more or less like an update of what I've changed, and since things have been really busy, I haven't really had no time to really mess with the mealworm bins or make any really big changes or to make anything big modifications or anything like that, since everything's been busier. So I'm gonna kind of touch and go on a few things. If all my subscribers that have watched my videos from the beginning, all of them pretty much, most of you have, but if you happen to stumble across this video and this is the first time you've watched any of my videos at all, and before you start asking me any questions about certain things, you might want to go back and look at some of the comments on some of the older videos and probably watch some of the other videos, because I've probably already answered some of the questions that you might already have that so many other people have had before you. Like, for example, I've had questions about the screen that I use in the bottom of the bins, and I've only described it, and I've never really showed, talked about where I got the screen at, which was at Walmart and things like that. I've had probably about 15 different people ask me the same question, so I've answered it, but then somebody else asked me the same question that didn't even read the comments. So in this video, I'm going to show you what the screen looks like, what the packaging looks like, and the dimensions, so maybe that will clear up the question, okay? So bear with me. Alright, this is what I'm talking about. This is it says pet defense, and it says 36-inch wide, 84-inch long, 91 centimeters, 213 centimeters, charcoal color. This is the screen that I use. It ain't focusing. Alright, this is the screen that I use, so this is what the packaging looks like, and this came from Walmart. So just in case y'all want to know what it is, this is what I used in the screen. This is the screen that I used that comes from Walmart. So if you see this packaging and you see that, you might want to pause the video later to find, so you can get a really good look at it. But here you go. It says Pet Defense. See? There's the manufacturer, I believe. New York wire. And I can't get it to... Why is this thing not focusing? Well, I'm sorry about that, guys, but it ain't gonna focus. Don't know why, but there you go. Everybody's been asking me this, and there you go. There's the answer. So, all right. So that takes care of that. But here's the new changes, and I said I was going to make a video if I made a change. Okay, there's one little problem that I encountered with that screen, and bear with me. Okay, here's the issue I'm talking about. I mentioned this in a comment before, so I don't know if you can see it or not. I'll try to zoom in the best I can, or try to clear it up. I don't think it's going to do it. But you'll notice right here, there's a hole. And you'll notice up here, there's a small hole right there. The Mealworm's 8 holes in this. Let's see if I can find another. There's another hole right here. You can't really see it because it's still got oatmeal stuck in it, but there's a couple holes in here somewhere, but that's one of the noticeable ones right there. So when you start noticing that your mealworms that are big and they end up in the bottom tray, if you decided to make this kind of design, and you start seeing mealworms in the bottom that are pretty good size, it's more than likely they probably eat a hole in it like that. And I'll show you how I took care of that problem. Okay, now what I done with the screen, I still have it, but I decided that I needed something a little bit stronger. So what I ended up doing is going back to Walmart, and I found this stuff. It's an aluminum screen, and it's got the same dimensions as the other. I made sure it had the exact same dimensions as the other one. See, it says 36 inch, 84 inch, and centimeters and all that. It just says aluminum on it right there. It's the same size holes as the other one, and it pretty much looks like screening that you would use in a window screen or something that you would put in a door, a screen door or something like that. It's pretty much all. It's same maker too. New York Wire is a manufacturer. But this is the new screen that I chose to replace the other screen that has a hole in it. Okay, what I done, I pretty much layered the bottom of the bin just like I did with the other type of screen. If you look at some of the older videos where I made these bins and I showed what the screen looks like on the bottom. Okay, with the aluminum screen I had to do a little bit different because it's aluminum, right? So it's going to be a little bit stronger, but it's also a little bit harder to mess with, right? So on the bottom of it, you see I still used a hot melt glue like I did the other. It still sifts exactly the same. You can still see oatmeal still coming through it, or feces, or frass, or whatever you want to call it. But you'll notice around the edges of it, how see where I trimmed it? It's not sticking up, it's not coming up around the lip up here like it did on the other ones, like those. I'll explain that in just a minute. You see how it's coming up above the lip right there all the way around it? Like that, and you'll look over here where I trimmed it off on the metal, on the aluminum screen. So it's a little bit more neater. And if the mealworms do manage to get through the glue, the hot melt glue that's on there, they'll just end up dropping down into the bottom bin. They won't be able to get out. So that's how I solved that problem. Alright. Trying to think of what else. There's one more thing. I also had a few questions, or people have asked me a couple. You remember the question I had back in one of the older videos? If you're a subscriber and you watched almost every video I got, if you remember the question somebody asked me, or that I was asking for everybody to help on, which was, is there a faster way to pick out pupae, out of the mealworm bins? Is there a faster way to do it? Well, somebody gave me a suggestion. Now, I also put this in the comments too, but I've had other people ask me the same question, so I'm going to put it on this video. Is there a faster way to pick the pupae out of there? Well, somebody gave me a suggestion, which I want to try it, but I just haven't had time to try to do it. Somebody said take a colander or a sifter, like a spaghetti strainer kind of thing that has slits in it, and then you take a drill bit and you drill holes in it that are about the size of your biggest mealworms that you have. And you scoop out your stuff when you want to pick out your pupae. You scoop them out and you put them into the sifter that you modified. And when you shake it, the slits will allow all the debris and stuff like the quick oats and frass will go through it. And any dead ones, just debris and stuff. And then the holes will allow your mealworms to go through, but your pupae will remain in the sifter, in the colander or the strainer. And when you're doing like that, it should allow everything else to pass through except for the pupae, because they're bigger than the holes that you drilled into it. I think that's an awesome idea, but the problem is I haven't had time to try it myself. I don't have the time to really, since everything's been busy, I haven't had no time to try it myself, and I want to try it so bad I can't stand it. But anyway, that was an answer that somebody came up with that seems like it will work. So if anybody wants to try that idea and want to put a video of it and put a link up to it to show how it works on the comments down below this video, it'd be awesome if you want to share that. It's all about sharing, to help each other out and that kind of thing, that everybody's raising mealworms. Okay, now this. Somebody was asking me sometime back, it was like a farmer was asking me about is it cheaper to raise your own mealworm? And they were trying to come up with a percentage of if it was cheaper or not to raise their mealworms or to buy chicken feed or whatever, and they were trying to come up with a percentage, and I told them I didn't keep a log of everything. All I did was raise the mealworms. That's all I did. So I told them where I got the stuff at. If anybody that's ever heard of Sam's Club, you remember from some of the older videos I went to Walmart and I bought quick oats. Okay, now we go to Sam's Club and I'm able to buy the carrots and the oatmeal a whole lot cheaper than I can at Walmart. Like, for example, like this really big box of quick oats. It's basically name brand, that stuff. And this is a 10-pound box that has 2 really big bags of quick oats in it. Well, it's about the same price as 2 smaller containers of those Great Value brand that you find at Walmart. This is what the price of this big box is. Here's a big old bag of shredded lettuce that I use for the mealworms to feed them. And then carrots. It's a really large bag of carrots, which is organic carrots, which I think is probably a little bit better for them anyway. And as you can probably tell, I think you can see the beetles are enjoying their little meal right now. I haven't done anything. I haven't picked out the pee-pee out of these yet, so that's why they don't have anything to eat. But after the video's over, I'm going to do that. So, see, there's one more thing. I got to think on it for a moment. Okay, you'll probably notice that there's only 2 of these that's got mealworms in them now, and you notice that one's empty, and all 4 of them up there are empty. It's not because I've been selling a lot of mealworms. It's because in one of the videos, if you remember when I said when I pick the pee-pee out of these, I give the pee-pee to them so they can eat them, right? Well, some of them survive and some don't. About half and half. It's like a 50% chance that, somewhere like 50-50 chance that they'll survive and become a beetle, and sometimes they get eaten by a beetle. Well, that kind of thing. So that's the reason why the numbers have went down quite a bit. If you look at the older videos, you'll notice that I have a lot more mealworms than I do now, which has actually helped me out quite a bit. But I still have the 2 nurseries over here. And I still got the 2 nurseries here, and I still got that drawer there. But other than that, that's pretty much it, I think, on the video. And I'm about to run out of time on my phone. And I think there's one more thing, but I gotta add to, and I can't remember what it is at the moment. I got less than a minute on the video left. I just wanted to add this one little tidbit about Rango. Something that I found that might actually, it's a little bit healthier than just regular standard calcium and vitamin. This is like a calcium plus. Somebody recommended this on a forums that I was reading about chameleons, that try this. So if you're raising a chameleon or anything, you might want to try this stuff here. It's got vitamins and calcium in the right ratio, so you don't give them too much of one thing or the other, which could make them sick. So if you are raising chameleons or something, you might want to try this stuff. I've been trying it on Rango for a couple of days now, and he seems to be a little bit more peppier and happier. So if you see this stuff, you might want to buy some. Well, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'm about to run out of video, so I hope everybody enjoyed the video, and thanks for watching. If you're a subscriber, thanks everybody for being supportive and giving me great ideas and comments and things like that on the